What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to my F1 2016 Vandoorne Career Mode. It is round number 3, the Chinese Grand Prix, by far my worst and most hated track on the calendar. I cannot stand this place, to be 100% honest with you guys. I really hate this track. I don't know how to drive anything. I'm just absolutely horrible at this track, and I've been doing a bit of practice, and I actually had to turn on the racing line. I was just pathetic at this track. Frankly, I'm pathetic at this track. I had to turn the racing line on. I just can't get the hang of this track, and I just don't have the time to do lots of practices and actually get used to this track, so I've had to turn the racing line on. I hope that's okay with you guys. It's just for this one track and one track only. The rest of the season I'll be running completely no assist, but here I'm going to be running the racing line. Unfortunately, a little bit of a roundup of practice. It was shocking. The track acclimatization, I got 30 out of 50 and crashed multiple times. There were many crashes in practice, and then I tried to do the qualifying pace and I failed it all 3 times. So yeah, and I didn't want to do the tire wear test. I didn't even try. I couldn't stand the thought of doing an extra 7 laps straight around this track and trying to manage the tires and keep the pace up. I couldn't be arsed doing that. Like I said, I hate this track. This race is just going to be damage limitation. It's really just going to be exactly that, damage limitation. Try not to lose too much in the rivalry, in the team position, and hopefully not too much in the championship, but miracles will have to happen if we meet any of the team's objectives or qualify, getting the points or anything. Miracles will have to happen for all that to happen, but we are here in China. It's a nice day, thankfully. That's a positive. I just want a nice, simple race, to be honest today. I don't want any funny weather or anything, but it is qualifying, so let's jump into it. So, here we go. We're about to start our final lap of the session. Our banker lap was absolute horseshit. We are in 22nd place. It can't get that much worse, but this time we're actually using rich revs, and we're really going to go for it. Get off the fucking racing line, Valtteri! Oh my god, Williams, you've just come out of the pits. I'm on a flying lap here. There's a freaking Force India off. Who knows what's going on? But I'm 2/10 up somehow. We've caught Gutierrez at a very nice time here. We're going to get a cheeky toe down this straight. Hopefully he just doesn't hold us up too much. Coming across the line, we're 9/10 up. And it's only P16. The objective is P13. And that's our qualifying done. That's the timer. Checkered flag is out. P16 or worse it's going to be, and we're going to be behind Button, that's for sure. And we're not going to pass the team's objective. Great. So we have qualified down in 16th place, outside of the top 13, which is what the team wanted, and we didn't beat our teammate Jenson Button. However, we will be starting right next to him, but he is 4/10 quicker than us. Not a good qualifying session for me or the team overall, but it's even worse for Sergio Perez, who got disqualified from qualifying. How he managed that, I don't know. Illegal blocking, and then illegal blocking, grid penalty, disqualification. And Ricciardo's also got a grid penalty for collision with Perez. So Perez has had a very eventful qualifying session, but we have not. We've had a pretty shit one at that. But this is China, like I said, my worst track on the calendar, so I'm not expecting much this weekend. But without further ado, let's get into the Chinese Grand Prix. So if we have a look at the race strategy for today's race, we either have a 2-stop strategy or a 3-stop strategy, but I think I'm going to go with the 2-stop, just manage those tires, go for that track position. It's the general sort of strategy in this McLaren, which isn't that fast, but if you look at the session forecast at the top of your screen, the 5th one out of the 6 has a little rain droplet, so it could get interesting in the latter half of the race. There might just be a little bit of water to mix things up, which could be quite interesting. Here we go, engage the clutch, get the revs up, 5 red lights, lights out, and away we go. And Hulkenberg has not had a good start. We've had a lightning start. We've already made up 2 places on our teammate and the Force India of the German, the Le Mans winner. We're going up the inside of Felipe Massa. We're going to sneak up the inside of a few more cars. Let's try not to run wide into, I think that's the Red Bull of Ricciardo. We're going to go around his outside. We want to go around the outside of Sainz and Grosjean, but Grosjean, they're going side by side. It's getting in my way, and Ricciardo not giving us much space there, but we've had a good start up into 11th place. The AI will go slowly into here. No, let's not go up the inside of those two. They're already side by side. That is a recipe for disaster. We are possibly past Ricciardo. Yes, we are up into the top 10 already. So it's a very good start for us, but can we hold it? That is the question. The Sainz is going quite slowly. Can we look around the outside here? We're going to try to do it around the outside. This is a crazy attempt. And we're going to make that stick right around the outside of Carlos Sainz. What a move. Up into P9 now, as we've got the Haas of Romain Grosjean in front of us. We've actually got a car going up our inside. We're going a little bit later under the brakes than he has. But Romain Grosjean in front of us in the Haas is on the super soft tyre, whereas we're on the soft. So it's going to be hard to get past him. And then beyond him is the Ferrari and then the Red Bull. So it's going to be difficult to make up many more positions. But we've got Sainz right behind us. We're going to defend, but he's going to the right, so we're not going to Max Verstappen him. And there he goes. And here comes Ricciardo on our left. Or you're going to lose 2 places down this straight. Not quite, as we're now going to go to the outside of Carlos Sainz into the hairpin and go right around the outside. We're on the racing line for the exit. It just allows us to get the power down a little bit earlier than the young Spaniard, holding on to P9 at the end of lap 1. So we made up, what, 7 places. So that's a pretty good start, I'd say. Oh, that's late and aggressive under the brakes. We're on the outside of the Haas, but we're going to get him. An audacious dive bomb has worked just like it did for Ricciardo in Monza on the weekend, and that moves us up into P8 now. Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. What's happening to the Delta? What's the Delta doing? It's going green, red, green, red. There we go, now it's green. What the heck was happening to the Delta? But now we've got these guys right behind us. And now we're going flat out pretty much and not even gaining on the Delta really. Okay, this is a interesting VSC. It's the first VSC I've ever had in this game, which is quite odd. But we're just going to go all hell's blazing and try and get this Delta down. This is allowing us to get right on the back of Raikkonen, Verstappen and Kvyat, because we're still 10 seconds up on our Delta, and these guys are going very, very slowly. So that is very odd. And now it's green as I've gone a little bit wide there. But can we look at the inside of Raikkonen? Yes, we can. We can just stick our nose in there. We've really benefited from that VSC, a very odd VSC. I'm not too sure what was going on there. It was all over the place. But we are now up into 7th place, so it's worked to our advantage, so I will definitely take that. As now we're right on the back of Kvyat and Verstappen, the two drivers that swapped around in real life. We've had a massive tank slapper coming through this very long and difficult right-hander where it's really hard to get the power down, and that's just lost us time. But we're going to still have DRS, as these two are going side by side, and this will be very interesting with their little incidents I've had as they're going side by side into the hairpin. It looks like Verstappen might have the move done, but Kvyat is going to fight it around the outside. He's now going to have the inside line for the final corner. What is going to happen here? And Kvyat just peeled off into the pit lane. That was very weird. But we are right behind Max Verstappen. We've got rich revs and DRS. As now some of the leaders are pitting as they had to start on the super soft tyre, and we are catching up to Max Verstappen. And can we look up the inside of turn 2? A very alternate line, but it's going to work, is it not? No, he's squeezing us on that apex. Very Max Verstappen-esque there, giving us a proper squeeze, racing really hard, and defending his position very well there, and fairly for once for Max Verstappen. This is allowing Kimi Raikkonen to catch us behind. Can we try and move into this corner? No, we can't. We're a little bit too far back off the Dutchman. Can we try and... No, I'm gonna stay behind him, just so we get the DRS, and then I'll try it into the hairpin, I think, with rich revs. Just got to make sure we get a good exit off this corner. We're definitely close enough for DRS, that is for sure. And we've got a decent exit. He's got a better one, but we have rich revs, DRS, and slipstream. And Raikkonen's not that close, not close enough to attack. Here we go, on the attack on Max Verstappen. Let's get ready to break in the straight. No, he's not going to defend us aggressively as we head down into the hairpin. Side by side, a double lock up from us, and we run him very wide. But he smartly doesn't run off the track. He does what he should have done in Germany, and we make that move stick. for what is now second place, as I think the two cars behind us just dove off into the pit lane, as we're now in the lead as Rosberg has just pitted with our alternate strategy. Here comes Carlos Sainz. Jesus Christ, he is coming very, very quickly as we head down into the hairpin. Far out, that DRS, that must be Rich Revs as well, but we're going to go back around his outside in the hairpin and hold on to the lead of this race. Well, not the official, well, you know what I'm saying, not the lead once all the stops have filtered through. Here comes Carlos Sainz. We've gone defensive, but it is absolutely no use. Look at the pull that Ferrari engine, 2015 Ferrari engine has. Oh, we're going late, we're locked up. Holy shit, that was... Okay, we've gained the position somehow. Go through Carlos. I do not deserve that place one bit. I almost crashed into him trying to let him through there when I just completely accidentally dive bombed him, completely locked up too late under the brakes, and then ran off the track. So, the end of lap number 8, and we're coming into the pit lane. Make sure we get it stopped. There we go. Probably lost a few tenths there on the pit entrance, but I don't want to get that drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's the first time I've actually done the pit entrance here in China, so I was just playing it safe. But the start of lap 9, we're in the pit lane, putting on a fresh set of the soft tyres. And it looks like there is a lot of cars coming in the pits. I'd say that is all the cars that were pretty much started the race outside the top 10, because a lot of those cars, like me, started on the soft tyre, whereas pretty much the entire top 10 started on the super soft due to the qualifying rule. And as you can see, it looks like a lot of them have actually gone to the medium tyre now, or at least Daniel Ricciardo in front of us has, and so is Romain Grosjean behind us. So we've come back out in this sort of gaggle of cars that we were fighting with before they all stopped. So we haven't actually lost too much by going longer. They haven't really executed a great undercut on us. We were in front of the two in front of us, but really we're pretty close, so it's not too bad. Light rain within 10 minutes time, that is very, very interesting. I wonder how that's going to affect this race. We're going to go around the outside of Ricciardo. He's going to turn to the inside, a superior grip on the fresh softs compared to his worn medium tyres, and that moves us up into 10th place. Now we're going to set our sights on Kimi Räikkönen. I think we're going to go for something down the back straight with the aid of DRS and slipstream, but he's going to have that off Bottas and Perez. We're going to use Rich Revs as well, try and get a good exit off here. Very difficult in this game to get the power down, as Raikkonen's going very slowly off that corner. I'm not too sure what's happened. We're already pulling alongside him before the DRS zone, but now he's pulling back past us. And here comes Ricciardo, and we're getting a bit boxed in here. We're going to try and just squeeze through up the inside of Kimi Räikkönen, as now our teammates in the pits, and Bottas has made a move on Sergio Perez, and we're up into 9th place as we made that move stick on Kimi Räikkönen, as Perez now pulls off into the pit lane, giving us another position. I think Räikkönen did as well. Can we try something on the Finn Valtteri Bottas? Yes, we can. Into turn number 1. It is now Carlos Sainz has come out right in front of us, going very, very slowly on the cold tyres. We had a little bit of contact. Now we're running side by side with the young Spaniard, but he's going to get the move done for now. Hold on to the position. He's going very defensive into this hairpin, so we're going to have to make it the long way around if we want to do this, and we're going to try, but he just squeezed us off the road there. I shouldn't really be sticking my nose there. I should have backed down to that a little bit more than I did, as we made a little bit of contact. That was good hard racing from Carlos Sainz. Learnt it from his ex-teammate. Can we try and make a move up the inside here? No, we can't. Again, he's just shutting the door on us there. Very aggressive from Carlos Sainz Jr. That's a dive bomb and a half. I didn't even mean to do that. Again, I just missed my braking zone like a knobhead. But it has worked. But we did flat spot these tyres a bit. But I don't think in this game you really notice the flat spots. So I'm not too fussed about that, to be honest. Here comes Carlos Sainz again. Moved to the inside early, and that has made absolutely no difference whatsoever. We've got Rich Revs and everything, and there goes the Spaniard past us. Can we? No, we can't quite look at it up the inside. We gave him a little bit of a tap there as we locked the brakes, trying to avoid him. But he's got the move done for what is currently a podium position. But we're now going to try and get a good exit off the final corner, which we haven't really got, but we do have DRS and a bit of slipstream as we head up towards turn number 1. Can we get past the Toro Rosso? not into the first part of turn 1, but can we do it into turn 2? So we're going side by side, we've got the inside line, and we're going to make that move stick. Back up into 3rd place. Here comes the normal attack from Carlos Sainz down the pit straight, as we've come to expect so far through this race. We're going to go back up his inside, a little lock up on the front right, but he's still hanging right around our outside, but he can't quite get the traction or the power down, can't find that traction, so we do hold on to 3rd place. Kimi Räikkönen is now out of the race. Is that going to trigger a safety car? No, it is not by the looks of things. Here comes Carlos Sainz, and now he gets DRS once he's past us. Far out. That Toro Rosso is so damn quick in a straight line compared to our Honda. We're going to try and line him up for a move into turn number 1 or even turn number 2. We'll see what we can do. As we come out of the final corner now, open the DRS. We've got rich revs in the slipstream of the Toro Rosso. We're going to pull to the inside, heading up into turn number 1. And we're going to run a little bit wide, but we are going to make the move stick for what is currently position 2, as Rosberg is out in front, and I really don't know where Lewis Hamilton is at the moment in this race. Here comes Carlos Sainz into the hairpin like normal. This time we're going to try and go around the outside of the Spaniard. There is not much space he's leaving us, but he is leaving us just enough, and we can get the power down better than he can out on the more ideal racing line where the grip is on the track, and we hold on to P2 for now. But now down the pit straight, he's going to come to our outside, I'm going to say, because I'm going to defend the inside line. And he's still on our outside, but now he's backed out of it, so we've held on to the position for now. And as you just heard from Jeff, we have to come into the pits at the end of this lap to fit, for our second stop, we're going to fit the medium tyres. Here comes Carlos Sainz. Like every lap, he's going a long way to the right-hand side of the track, but the rain is starting to fall, and I can't hear what Jeff is saying, annoyingly. But Sainz has got the move done, but we've got a much better exit. We're now on the outside for the final corner. We're going to go right around his outside, a little bit off the track. As you see, the rain is definitely starting to fall now. As you can see, we're meant to pit that lap, but I'm just feeling, is it going to rain enough for intermediate tyres, and would it be better to stay out as we're going side by side with Carlos Sainz on very soggy rubber? Both of us in changing conditions as the rain is going to fall. This is great racing between me and the young Spaniard, as we're now actually leading the race as Rosberg has made his pit stop. Oh, we've had a massive lockup and skated right off the track into that corner. Is it time for intermediates? The little thing keeps saying mediums at the moment, not intermediate tyres. Is that just tyre wear causing me to lock up? I'm into the 50s now. Or is that the rain that's coming down more and more right now? I don't know what to do. I'm going to go for it. Intermediate tyres. The conditions are getting really tricky out here. And Carlos Sainz has come into the pit lane right in front of us. Looks like everyone's coming into the pit lane behind us. It's time for intermediates, I reckon. Teammates in the pits. A lot of cars are coming into the pit lane right now. But that looked like mediums at that first garage. We're going on to the inters. What is Sainz going on to? That is mediums. And we're on to the inters. Is this the right call? The rain is coming down quite a lot, to be honest. I was really losing grip. You can see it on my visor. Have I bottled this, or have the AI bottled this? We'll find out in just a moment. You can see the rain all over the camera now, as we're on our first handful of corners on these tyres, and we're catching Carlos Sainz by the looks of things. But are these the right tyres to be on? There's a lot of water on the screen, to be honest. But is it the right tyre? That is what I don't know. DRS hasn't been disabled yet, which is a little bit interesting, because usually they disable DRS, but we're about the same as Carlos Sainz here, who's on a dry compound tyre. That just could be bad in the wet conditions, or it could be that we are possibly on the right tyre here. I really do not know if we've made the right choice here or not. There we go, DRS has been disabled. The rain is getting heavier and heavier. There goes Carlos Sainz into the pit lane. Everyone is diving into the pit lane. It's happening. Everyone's going into the pits. Everyone is going into the pits. And we are leading the race. We may have just made the perfect call there. We may have just made the perfect call. Everyone seems to be in the pit lane right now. Everyone but us, because we've already changed the intermediate tyres and we're now leading the Chinese Grand Prix.
Conditions should remain dry. We will keep you informed of any changes to the weather.
Did you just say conditions should remain dry, Jeff? What are you smoking, mate? Seriously. In other news, we are starting the penultimate lap of the race. We have a 9.6 advantage over Nico Rosberg. We could actually do this. I don't want to say too much too soon, but we could actually do this. Out of the final corner we come. The checkered flag is out. Oh my god, we've actually done it. We have won the Chinese Grand Prix. Holy shit, what a race. Oh my god, what a race that was. We've just won from 16th place on the grid in a McLaren. Yes! Get in! What a race that was. Yes! Oh my god, yes. First place. Holy crap. I don't know what to say. I was saying this was going to be a damage limitation weekend and I've gone out and won the race. Oh boy, what a race that was. Holy crap. Let's jump up on the podium. Yes! Yes! Get in! Yes, lift that trophy up high above your head, Stoffel Vandoorne. Wow. I was thinking at the start of the season it would be nice to get a podium in Season 1. 3 races in and we have a race victory. And it's at the Chinese Grand Prix, my most hated track on the calendar. We've gone from 16th place on the grid to win the Chinese Grand Prix. Oh my god. Wow, that rain just came at the perfect time for us. We just timed that stop perfectly. We waited out on those mediums for 2 laps longer, right to the end of our pit window. Then Sainz came in and we followed him in. But they all went onto the medium tyres and I went onto the intermediate tyres. Then the very next lap, they all pitted. The entire field pitted for intermediate tyres. So essentially by going onto those tyres 1 lap earlier, I just avoided an extra stop, and that's what gave us track position. And we were actually really quick in those wet intermediate conditions. The gap originally was 8 seconds to Rosberg, and as you can see at the end of the race it was 9.2, and most of the race hovered around 10. It actually gradually extended to about 10, and then when it got to 10 I just sort of backed it down a little bit, and on that last lap I really backed off and it was a really slow lap, hence Rosberg catching up that final second. Wow, I don't know what to say really, but we have won the Chinese Grand Prix in a McLaren Honda from 16th place on the grid in changing conditions. That was a crazy race, a crazy Chinese Grand Prix. Joining us on the podium was the 2 Mercedes. Originally I thought it was going to be Esteban Gutierrez standing on that 3rd step of the podium, but it just didn't quite work out there for Esteban. I think he was passed by Lewis on about the penultimate lap or something in the dying laps of the race. He lost that podium position. Imagine if there was a Haas and a McLaren on the podium. That would be crazy for only the 3rd race of Season 1 in a career mode. And in 5th place was Valtteri Bottas. Carlos Sainz, who were having a crazy battle with early in the race, made the mistake of going onto the mediums when we went onto the inters and pitting the very next lap. And that cost him a little bit. He could definitely have been in that fight for the lead with us. We could have been fighting with him all race if he had made the same strategy as us and gone to those inters. But that's where it looks like we would have filtered out if we hadn't gone on to inters when we did, which still would have been a very good result. Then behind him was Daniel Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel, our teammate, getting in the points in P9, so a double points finish for McLaren and also a double points finish for Haas with Romain Grosjean finishing just inside the points. Max Verstappen down in 13th place and Pascal Wehrlein up in 14th. Kimi Räikkönen has not finished the race, so it's been a really up and down season I should say, for the Finn. DNF in Australia, win in Bahrain, and then a DNF in China. So that win has jumped us up to 4th place in the drivers' standings, absolutely crazy, but Lewis Hamilton holds onto his lead in the championship from his teammate Nico Rosberg, who then swapped places with his fellow German Sebastian Vettel for 2nd place. Then it's us in 4th, and in 5th place is Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Räikkönen. Daniel Ricciardo is down in 8th with the Toro Rosso in front of him, so Carlos Sainz is doing very, very well. He's the highest of all 4 of the Red Bull cars. Max Verstappen down in 17th place, so he's having a shocker, and both Manners are above the Sauber, so Sauber at last place, 21st and 22nd. But in the Constructors' Championship, that has jumped McLaren up into 3rd place, so we're now ahead of the likes of Williams, Toro Rosso, Haas, Red Bull, who are lingering down in 7th place. They are having a shocking start to the season, really being weighed down by Max Verstappen, not pulling his weight and scoring points. But Mercedes are leading from Ferrari, a really comfortable margin there for Mercedes. Looks like they're just going to run away with the Constructors, but that's to be expected, really. Here we have a look at the rivalry update. This should really help us out in this rivalry. Jenson Button is getting very close to winning it. Oh, not quite. 29 out of 30 he's on, and we're on 24 out of 30. So we have to make sure we get at least 6 in the next qualifying session, because he's guaranteed to get 1 just from finishing qualifying to at least draw this rivalry. We cannot win this rivalry anymore, I don't think. And now the driver position within the team, the standing with the team. This is going to jump up to about 6, I believe, because we finished 15th or higher. We beat Jenson Button, and we're definitely above 10th in the driver standing. So we are now 6th on the driver position, well in the green, and sort of now moving back into the upper half, which is what we want. So that is all for today. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. I certainly did. What a race that was, coming from 16th on the grid in changing conditions at my least favorite track to win the race in a McLaren Honda. Absolutely ridiculous. I never saw that coming. At the start of the race, I said this is going to be a damage limitation weekend, and we've just gone and frickin' won the race. I don't know what to say about that. Like I said earlier, I thought we'd be lucky to get a podium in Season 1. That's what I was hoping for. But to have a win after 3 races, that is crazy. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We are closing in on 600 subscribers, which would be awesome to hit really, really soon. But thank you all very much for watching. I'll be next Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time.